This is how to calculate Aroon, the Aroon indicator. So I have here, I have Aroon plotted here. This is Google, and it's pretty useful. It's a pretty useful indicator. It's composed out of two lines here. One is the red one is the Aroon up, and this green one is the Aroon down. I know the colors are kind of contradicting, but so basically, whenever the Aroon up crosses the Aroon down, it just means you want to stay long, and whenever Aroon down crosses Aroon up, it just means you want to stay short for that period. So as you can see here, for Google, we've had a nice rally for when this Aroon up was telling us to stay long, and a little nice downtrend when the Aroon down was telling us to short it. So you can see it's a pretty useful indicator, relatively easy to calculate. We just need 6 extra columns from your current data. So I just copied the same data into a new sheet to calculate. So once you've downloaded your data into Excel, the very first thing we're going to need is to calculate the highest high in n+1 periods. So basically what that means, usually for the Aroon, n equals 20. But I mean, you could play around with this, make it different values. But one thing to keep in mind is for what this means is basically we're going to find the highest high in 20 periods, but we're gonna plot whatever value we get to the very next period. So that's what that +1 means. So basically, it's a max function, trying to find the max in 20 values, and whatever we get out of these 20, we're gonna plot it in the next one. So we're gonna basically exclude that row, that value from that the current row. Just fill in the rest. And then the very next column is a period since highest high in column G. So basically what this number is going to tell us is how many days have gone by since this value was last, since we actually hit that highest high. So it's basically the n+1. So in this case it's going to be 21 minus, and we're going to have to write a match function. So basically match this value here, and then comma, and then you're going to highlight where it is to be found, comma, and then 0. Close the parentheses. Okay, so it's telling us that 18 days have gone by, and if we do, let's double check here. So 695. So basically that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18. So as you can see, 18 is correct. So fill in the rest. And then for column I, it's just n minus column H divided by n times 100. Okay, so this is whatever value we get here is going to be our Aroon up. Alright, so we're going to need parentheses, two open parentheses, n equals 20. Minus the value we got here, close the parentheses because we want to calculate that first, divided by n, which is 20, then close the parentheses, and then multiply all that by 100. Alright. So in this case, there's a 10%, basically it's telling us 10%. So as you can see, that it's not indicating a strong it's not indicating a strong performance on the stock, since it's 10. If it were a 100, however, it would mean that we really want to stay long, because there's fewer days that have gone by when of when that highest high was made. So these days should have relatively high values for Aroon up. So just fill in the rest, and as you see here, for these values, which are 1, we get high Aroon values. Alright, so now we repeat the same process, but now we're trying to calculate Aroon down. So basically, instead of the highest high, we're trying to find the lowest low in n+1 periods. So basically a min function. Again, 20 values, excluding that rows. Fill in the rest. Period since lowest low in column J. So basically the same thing we did here. Gonna have to write a match function. So 21, and then match 636, and then highlight the values where it's going to be found. 0. So we have 8 days. So let's see, 636, which is here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's correct. Double click, fill in the rest. Now, same thing, n equals 20. So 2 open parentheses, 20 minus column K, close 1 parentheses, divided by 20, close the parentheses, and then multiply that by 100. We get 60. So you see here, just by looking at these two values, 60 and 10, you see that how there's relatively there's more downside, basically, factoring in than there is of upside. That's why they move opposite of each other. So to fill in the rest, now we're gonna plot them. So you want your date, close, Aroon up, and Aroon down. There we go. Just gonna move it to a new sheet. I think I opened one. Let me move this to a new sheet. So you can see here, it's relatively easy to calculate. You see it here again, Aroon up. We get a little nice uptrend until it crosses here, showing a weakness, and then it's basically showing relatively that Aroon up is basically outperforming Aroon down for this uptrend on Google. Alright, so I hope this helped out. You could play with this by switching n to different values, see what you guys can get. You could even plot buy signals, sell signals, and see what you come up with. Those work really nice for Aroon. Other than that, let me know if you have any questions or comments, and hope this helps. Alright, thanks for watching.